Yes, people, before we get into the interview today, the next 20 interviews will be paying tribute to both Diogo and Andre, who sadly lost their lives due to a tire blowout on the 3rd of July. They are honestly both great footballers, even better men, and tragically taken from us too soon. And they'll always forever be our lads from Portugal, and Diogo Jota, you will always be our number 20. Enjoy the interview now. People, welcome back to Vinny's Voice. I'm joined, technically again, because unfortunately the recording got, let's just say, lost of some sorts. But I'm finally joined by Pat Typhosion. Pat, how are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, man. It feels great to be here once again. How you doing today, man? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's early morning for me, but I don't mind. I love this. I love this game. I love this. So I don't mind getting up early, and
Absolutely.
That's a good good tone for the day as well. So it benefits me as well.
Well, Pat, I have a Fusion interview to start the day, man. Can't complain. So yeah.
Exactly. Cannot complain at all. Now, I want to talk about the recent Breakout show 07.
Yes.
What, as the obviously matchmaker or one of the matchmakers alongside Lesra and potentially others in your team, what do you make of this card, and how does this card compare to the rest of the shows you put out so far?
Well, I'll give you a little insight to how Breakout works. So we all work as a combined unit as a team. So usually I kind of set the big idea, the standard of what I want to do for the event. I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that, like I want to try this, I don't want to do this. And the first thing I do is I tell Lesra, I'm like, Lesra, try your best to get fights that would be like this. And usually Lesra is always ahead of the game. He is the core matchmaker for Breakout. I do not matchmake the fights. Mainly reason being because I have matchmade a couple fights before and it did not go over the best in some sort of scenarios. So Lesra is the matchmaker for Breakout, and I told him that I just want the biggest fights, like make the biggest fights possible. And once again, he exceeded expectations. You know, I work with Lesra side by side on all these events. So if I'm being completely 100% real with you, it's good to have him as a partner, him to understand the brand in some aspects, even more than I do. So we work as a combined unit. But when it comes to the overall vibe of the card, I knew back at 01 that we were going to do 007 and we were going to do this as a thing. Like if we got to 7, we were going to do 007. It was going to be a James Bond event. You know what I mean? I said that all the way back at the first Breakout event. So it's coming to fruition. And I think that Lesra made the best card that could have been made at this time. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's some people that you would wish that were on the card and stuff like that, but you know, it comes down to the actual fights. Lesra thinks of the scope of the fight, the story of the fight, and we make the best fight possible in the promotion with trailers, and we do our best to really capture what the fight is about. So congratulations to Lesra once again for creating an awesome card. Not only matchmakes for us, but for Sword 7 too. So he's our guy over here. But for the 07 card overall, I'm very happy. We did have some issues with some card leaks and whatnot, but we were able to pivot very easily and make an even bigger announcement out of it. So we're always 2 steps ahead. We got eyes and ears everywhere, and you cannot stop Breakout.
Exactly, for sure. Looking forward to that card.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So with sort of Breakout, obviously these stars, I would say, they're not like, I would say, Misfits level stars at this point to the following. So how do you actually find like who to put on the card? Is it just expression of interest from the fighters themselves, or do you actually look through and say, oh, this guy might have something, maybe he may not look like he's interested to fight, but let's send him a DM and see if he's interested. So how does sort of finding these breakout stars to fight on your promotion?
So Breakout is it's a small creator promotion. So
Yeah.
we take basically anybody who wants to give themselves a shot. Like you could have 12 followers, you could have 1,000 followers, you could have 10,000 followers, right? If you're a small creator, mid-level creator, you could be a big level influencer, anyone. We're basically gonna take anybody on Breakout that fits the brand, respects the community, and obviously respects themselves. Like obviously you can't be saying like insane shit. Like we've seen some people be removed from my cards for what from actions and stuff like that. But we basically take anyone that's gonna take the shot, and we bring people back based off of how they do in promotion and how they are in person. You know what I mean? That's a big thing that I think that people don't understand. Like coming to the breakout events, being cool with everybody, getting along with everybody, talking to us, getting to know us. That's a better chance for us to get you on a card because we're gonna know how to match you up. We're gonna know like when you're gonna be able to fight, what your situation is. Like we're gonna know you on like a personal basis, even if like you're not officially signed to the Breakout brand. So pretty much everybody is welcome. We've had people come over from the UK and stuff like that. And we just do our basis off that. We put out a fighter forum. We get DMs from people. I find people. You know what I mean? Lesnar finds people. It's just kind of a mixed bag. You know what I mean? A lot of people will come in. Some people will leave. And then more people will come in. So the interest kind of like it scales. It just depends on what's going on at the time, especially after breakout events and after these small creator events. When they see the possibility of them fighting on a small creator promotion, then and actually they don't have to go to Misfits or CFL, and they can actually do a fight on Breakout and get that boxing experience. And then if they like it more, they can do more Breakout and then go off and do further things. Or maybe it's a one and done thing. You know what I mean? We're here to be that entry level for people, and we're also here to excel fighters in their own way. Like make sure that they find out who they are as a person, experience travel for the first time, make new friends. You know what I mean? It's not just the boxing. We think about all that stuff. You know what I mean? Be a good person, be nice, know your character well, promote, and then come to the events and have a good time. You're basically going to be back on Breakout and Sword 7 every time. Like there's going to be nothing stopping you from coming back to our brand. If you're a newer person and you express extreme interest, even to an annoying point, you're going to get on Breakout. You know what I mean? We just want the people who are interested.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds really good. Also, you also take into account that, you know, not just the boxing, but also everything else, the camaraderie, you know, meeting people, connecting. I think that's also as important, if not equally as important as, you know, fighting in the ring. Now, I want to talk about your fight career. You've had a couple fights here and there. Your biggest fight today being on CFL.
Yes.
Any future fight plans for yourself in the works at the moment, or?
So
pretty quiet.
I'm fighting on Sword 7 on August 29th, but it's going to be streamed on August 30th. I'm fighting my best friend Waffle.
Yeah. Well, I saw the what do you call it? Face off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was going intense. You know what I mean? I have a point to prove, and I'm going to take it out on Waffle. But it's all respect at the end of the day, because you know that literally is one of my best friends. You know what I mean? So, you know, we understand each other, and we have no problem punching each other in the face and then being friends afterwards. You know what I mean? It's just one of those fights. And as for like my overall fighting career, you know what I mean? I have some of the most fights in the scene. You know what I mean? You see Ant Mills, who has like 14, but he started fighting even before me. So like I've been fighting like a machine, like 2 to 3 fights a year since I was 21. And I think I've done a good job. I think I have 11 fights, not counting all the ones that aren't on my record and stuff like that. Like I've had 11 fights in my career, and I'm not even 25 yet. So it's pretty cool. I've loved getting to do all these fights. CFL was really sick. You know, getting to fight with my best buddy Lesnar on the card. You know what I mean? Obviously, it would have been ideal if we both came out with the win.
Yeah, for sure.
However, it's okay. It's fine. You know what I mean? Because I love that guy to pieces, and he's going to come back with the biggest redemption, but I just love to fight. And that is why I started this community. That's why I flew out and fought Trey Ingram when there was no community, because I love fighting. Like, I've gone through things in my life, and there was points in time where I didn't have the ability to defend myself. or I didn't have the confidence to really stand up straight and be like, I'm that fucking dude. But now I have those attributes, and it's because of these things, because I put my foot forward, and I did everything to the best of my ability, and I showed everybody who I was, because everything I give out to the people is me. Like, I'm me. No one can take that away from me. And I've built an entire community around that, and people are now chasing their dreams. Like, because I did what I did, like, by proxy, people joined this community and believed in themselves, and they put their best foot forward, and then they decided to do it. Like, take, for example, Lesra, right? I hate to beat a dead horse here, but he started in this community way after me, and he's the biggest name. He's going to go to Misfits Boxing, and he did that because he put his best foot forward, and he got there because, like, one person took a chance, and it made other people believe that they could take a chance on themselves. I didn't give those opportunities to people. I gave the opportunity for people to see that they had an opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, at the end of the community, if I never get to Misfits, and if I just keep fighting on Breakout forever, and it's just, this is what I do, I'm going to be very content with my life, because there's going to be a few people out of this crowd that go to Misfits, even if it's not me, and I know that I'm going to have some part in that, and it's beautiful. So I love my fighting career. I love to fight. I have no intentions on stopping just yet. However, I think we've reached somewhat of a milestone goal. We're definitely moving along in the journey. We're definitely farther along than where we started, and I'm going to take over the scene. I'm gonna get to Misfits Boxing. I'm gonna fight on CFL again. I'm gonna defend my title on Breakout, and that's that. We're gonna see what happens after that. Everything changes within the span of a week, so you never know if I'm gonna get the call to fight on like August 30th on Misfits. Like, yo, we need you for this. Like, I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. So speaking on Misfits, obviously Lesra, I would say, is very likely to get on Misfits. But with yourself, I think you're also quite likely to go on Misfits. I would say you and Lesra out there, 100%. Seriously.
We love you, bro.
Thank you. Has there actually been any, let's just say, here and there talks that about, you potentially getting on Misfits or potential opponents with anyone affiliated with Misfits Boxing, if you can reveal?
You see, the thing is, right? Let's break it down a little bit. So obviously CFL is the Mams Taylor promotion, right? Or Mams is going to watch it, right? That's why a lot of people want to fight.
It's like the NXT of Misfits.
Yes. So if you really think about it in like a wrestling standpoint, like we're the Indies, they're NXT, and then Misfits is like WWE. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Jake Paul is like the biggest star of the WWE, who went off and created his own promotion and is now rivaling WWE. You see like how that works? So Mams Taylor was there, right? He watched everyone's fight but mine, because I was the first fight, right? And he arrived at the venue late, so he never saw my fight live. However, when I was doing my post-fight, I noticed him right there, and I see him chuckling. And so I'm back there talking to Rob Alexander, right? Lesnar's gonna fight in a couple of fights. I turn around, I see Mams. He's like, I heard that you did great in your fight. And then so I just started talking about me, and I started talking about my scene and everything like that. And I've talked to Mams prior to this. Like, he is aware of me. Like, I don't have a relationship with Mams or anything like that, but I at least know he thinks I'm like a cool guy. You know what I mean? Because I'm able to still talk to him and stuff like that here. I send him messages here and there, but I never beg for an opportunity. I'm never like, you have to get me on Misfits, please, because I know it's gonna be my time when my time comes. But I'm just letting him know, like, hey, listen, dude, like, I'm here when you need me. Like, that's what I think the people should have approach to Misfits, because although they're limiting the pool, like, that should be your like becking call to just be like, I'm gonna go all out and show everybody exactly who I am. I know for a fact that the reason why I'm not on Misfits right now is because of my numbers. I have everything that they need. I'm a fan-friendly fighter. I fight really good. Although I'm not technical, I fight really good.
You have that heart. You have to like dog in you when you fight.
I've got that dog in me, dude. I really do, honestly. And I know Misfits is looking for that, but they need that number side. Because they got to sell pay-per-views. They got to know that someone's bringing in the dough. Like, someone's bringing in the money. Casey, please. No.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Bringing in the money. So, what I'm saying right now is... Casey, not right now. Listen, bro. I'm telling you right now, Misfits is going to want me. And it's just going to be when they want me. You know what I mean? I have no problem waiting. I have a job. I make decent money. I have a really good life. I love my family too. You know what I mean? Even though they piss me the fuck off all the time, I love my family. You know, I'd rather be here than anywhere else on the world right now. And I'm living life right now. You know what I mean? I'm just content with things. And I haven't been content in a long time. Because this year has been very, very exciting, but it's also been a very emotional year. It's also been very tough. It's also been really tough on my body too. I've had a lot of injuries. You can see I got a sty in my eye right now, like in my eyelid right there. So I'm dealing with that. You know what I mean? So I'm always dealing with something, but I always keep it rolling.
Yeah, for sure. But I'd like to touch on a point that you did mention, that there are certain individuals in the small creator scene, per se, that do overly beg for this Misfits opportunities or like grandiose opportunities. In your opinion, in general, like, what do you make of that, and is that actually, you know, potentially even worsening their chances of getting on these Misfits or getting these sort of upper echelon sort of opportunities in their career?
You've interviewed someone that I've actually described multiple times, you know what I mean? And that's like people like Poseidon, you know what I mean? People who have talent but they're just fucking forcing it. They're trying to pry the door open, when in reality the door's gonna open if you have the key, right? If you have the key to the door, you're gonna open it. But like, if you're just fucking jamming and ripping it, eventually you're gonna rip it open, right? It's gonna open and you're gonna get the opportunity that you want, but it's not gonna be everything that you wanted it to be. Because in the back of your mind, you're gonna be like, I didn't really get here. I didn't do things the right way. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's a bad guy or anything like that. I actually think he's like a pretty decent dude. But it's this persona. Like, people think it's boxing. Like, you have to be mean, rough, tough. You got to be all those things. And you do. But you might as well be authentic. You know what I mean? Everything I say and everything I do is what I believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if I look stupid, even if I look dumb, even if I fuck up and I make a mistake, at least I know I did it being me. And I don't have to relearn lessons as somebody else, because I'm not having a fucking identity crisis. And if I ever get this opportunity to fight on Misfits, they're gonna give it to me based off me. Because I earned it. Right. I earned my CFL opportunity. I fought through the ranks. I took my time. I got offered opponent after opponent for CFL, and I took the right one at the right time because I knew it was my time to do it. Like, this world is gonna run on my time because I'm the one making the decisions. I'm the one putting in the hard work. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna put myself in the position to succeed. I'm not gonna put myself in the position to succeed and also fail, because you can do that. You can fail upward. You can fail on a trajectory upward.
Yeah,
you'll get to a point where you make it and you succeed, but it's not everything you wanted it to be. Well, I rise the ranks, right?
Yeah.
And I'm right here now. And then I don't gotta worry about what this person says or what that person says, because I know that I fucking did it. I didn't beg for it. You know what I mean? When Misfits calls, they'll call. If they don't call, they're missing out. And it's completely fine with me, because I'll get by. if I have to fight on Breakout and CFL forever, I'll do it. Because unlike all these other influencers, this fighting thing for me is not a ways to get more followers. It's not a ways for me to become the biggest influencer ever. I'm just trying to get to a point where I can fight on Misfits, and I can be a Misfits superstar, fight on their promotion actively, consistently, make money. Then when I have a giant fuckload of cash, I bow out. Because with that fuckload of cash that I have, I'll have some of the best fights. Championship level fights. Be fighting for belts. You know what I mean? Fighting the best of the best. And it's like, I'll have a fuckload of money, but I earned this money.
Right.
Like, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this money. This is dirty money. The police and the feds might as well be knocking on my door for how hard I worked for this money. They're going to think it's illegal for how hard I worked it. Rather than winning a lottery ticket and getting lucky.
Yeah, for sure. What you're saying reminded me of what Divine Xavier, he told me a quote, and I'll never forget it. And it said, he told me, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. So, planting these seeds here and there, and then ultimately the end goal where you're able to enjoy the fruit or eat the fruit or enjoy your labor, instead of, you can't force a plant to grow, you can't just pour more water. At the end of the day, it has to take time, and success takes time at the end of the day. And these great opportunities don't just happen like this. You have to take the time and the work in order to succeed. And I think, what you said is 100% valid.
I agree with you, man. Listen, a lot of these people, like, I got a message from, or I got Augustin's tweeting right now, my former opponent, talking about all these excuses for why he didn't win. It's just like, listen, dude, like, tough shit. I wish I could be me too. And that's what I'm rolling with right now. Never doubt me. Never doubt yourself. And you are the person that you say that you are. If you wake up every day and you're like, I'm fucking awesome and I can do anything, you're going to have a great fucking day. If you wake up every day as a miserable prick, blaming everybody for why you didn't get this, that, and the third, that's on you. I don't compare
100%.
myself to others. I compare myself to how I did yesterday. And if I'm not doing good comparison to how I did yesterday, I'm going to do my best to improve on it the next day. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? That is what it is. I don't beg for anything. I'm just gonna keep on rolling. I'm me. And I'll keep playing Donkey Kong in my room until then.
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
So obviously there was the Misfits 22 announcement for the main and co-main and an undercard fight. But I want to speak on like very recent news. I tweeted about this as well. It was the Joey Essex and Numero fight, and the reaction on Twitter were like, who, and as obviously big fans of the scene, and knowing that Joey Essex is a huge name, and what's his name, Numero is also a huge name in Portugal. What does it mean to see the fans be sort of disrespectful? Because these guys obviously have huge followers, but just because they don't do their own research, they just think they're nobody. So what do you make of that? What do you make of that in general? Of that whole thing?
The card's great. I think it's good. I think it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's good too.
I know some people will have some reservations about Tony Ferguson and everything, but like, he's a grown man. Like, we gotta understand that these men, they're grown men, right? Yeah. Even if it's a decision where it's like, yeah, he's old and this, that, and the third, it's just like, yeah, you're right. But it's just like, we have no right to tell these people what to do. We're not in their inner circles. We don't see what goes on every day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I think Salt Poppy's gonna wipe Tony Ferguson, and I think Luke Rockhold's gonna get sent to the Shadow Realm. But I think Darren Till is making Misfits very entertaining. You know what I mean? He's repping the brand. He's doing what KSI could never do. He's furthering the Misfits brand. You know what I mean? And if they want to merge into the crossover boxing space, I'm completely fine with that. You know what I mean? Like that's what they need to do.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So with your obvious Misfits goals, let's make a hypothetical situation. Not hypothetical, a future. Let's just not say hypothetical. We'll say a future situation because it's gonna happen one day. One day, that you get on Misfits. When you promote, because I'll say some Misfits fighters here and there, their promotion isn't really up to mark at points. So when you do get that opportunity, how are you going to differentiate yourself from all these other fighters in the way you promote the fight in order to get those numbers and people tuned in?
I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just gonna have fun. Like, show the Misfits audience who I am. And I'm gonna give you another thing, right? If I was on Misfits, who would I fight? I want to fight the Misfits weatherman. I want to fight Biel, Mr. Biel.
Oh, Biel.
Talking shit about me. Hey, listen, you know what I mean? I'm a little small fry. You know? But if I suck so bad and I'm nothing, then you should have no problem fighting me. Why not?
Has there been back and forth between you and Biel?
Yes, there has, right after my CFL fight. So, listen, bro can kick rocks. Ben Davis is better than him, and I like him more. I like Ben Davis. Even though he made some comments about my physique, but like, fair. Jason did look in way better shape than I did, so I will give him that.
Do you have a message for Biel if you were ever to step foot with him in the ring?
You're a weatherman, right? It's a cloudy day, the day that me and you fight on Misfits, with a forecast of thunderstorms. These fists right to your dome. Boom, 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 boom. They're gonna think that lightning's hitting the fucking building. They're gonna think that God's drumming down. Do 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 do.
Honestly, make the fight happen. I say make the fight happen. Biel's training. Biel's been training. You've been training. I mean, there it is. There it is. I mean, that's just me, you know. There it is. The opportunity speaks for itself.
Hell yeah.
Now, we are gonna wrap up the interview. I asked you this, obviously, in the last interview, but I'll ask you this question again. Maybe your response, maybe you give us a different quote, but I'll ask it again. What is the best quote or piece of advice you've received or heard?
Get 1% better every day. Do not try to push it. Do not try to become Superman overnight. You know what I mean? The only thing that we can do as humans every day is be 1% better than the next day. Because after 100 days, you're going to be 100% better.
There we have it. Thank you, Pat, for your time. Appreciate you so much.
Hell yeah, man. Tune in August 29th, August 30th, where I kick Waffle Taco Gamer's ass.
For sure, for sure.